Welcome to the Weird Lone Girl podcast. I am your host, Frank Garay, and I'm here with the actual Weird Lone Girl herself, Katie Lewis.
Hello, everybody.
And we have some fabulous guests. We have LeTroi and Lisa Smith in the house with us today.
Hey, everybody, how you doing?
This is going to be awesome. This is just going to be so great. First, I'll give the peeps kind of the lowdown on who you guys are. First of all, they've been in the business for about 19 years, so just about 20 years. They have their own brokerage, which I think is very, very cool. It's Fine Homes RE Inc. or Fine Homes Real Estate. What's your home base of operation? What city? Is it VACAVILLE, or where are you guys located?
Fairfield.
Fairfield, okay, in Fairfield, in Solano County. And boy, oh boy, you guys have done about 28 transactions in the past 12 months. And I had asked, just so you guys know, I had asked them in the green room, you know, what is that? How's that? The listing to buyer ratio. And LeTroi, you said about half to half, but maybe skewed a little more toward the listing side. So is that about sum you guys up real quick?
Yeah, sounds
Pretty
right.
much.
All right. Well, first of all, congratulations on the success. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot, right, Katie? I mean, we talk to a lot of agents. Yeah, every day. It's like to hear someone doing, nearly 30 in the past 12 months, pretty remarkable. Like, pretty good, man. So we must pick your brains and we must figure this whole thing out. That's what we have to do. Katie, what's the first question we have for the Smiths?
First question. Here we go. What strategies have been most effective for you in generating leads and closing deals?
Strategies.
Strategies. I would say we have a multitude of different strategies that we use. So first and foremost, we do purchase leads. We do partner up with different lead generating sources. We also tap into our sphere of influence. And
So what we've also done is we've also started doing commercials. So we had to do the whole commercial shoot and then put it on the market. And so that to specific markets where we're trying to get in or stay in and be relevant. And so we've targeted specific, kind of like a specific buyer or a specific seller. So we're doing both buyers and sellers on the commercials. And so that's another big thing that we're doing as well.
I gotta explore the commercial thing here a little bit. So first of all, purchasing some leads. So you're buying some leads, right? Are these your typical ZillowRealtor.com type of purchases, basically?
more Facebook, Google.
Okay.
And buying some other leads that kind of, I wouldn't say cold, but warm leads, buying those. And then we have staff to help us navigate through which deals are we've got some teeth in it. And so they say, hey, you might want to call these people now.
So you got some people pre-screening. So you've got some inbound lead activity that you're purchasing, and then you've got somebody on the team that's pre-screening and going, hey man, these guys seem like they want to have an actual these guys really want to have a conversation and talk it, right? So that's cool. I mean, are you out of the lead sources that you're getting purchase leads from, is there anyone in particular that kind of stands out? You go, these are pretty good.
I would probably say the most relevant right now are probably maybe the Facebook.
Really? Okay. When you get Google leads, are these you're doing like Google ads, and then they're coming in that way? You're paying for Google advertising, basically, or?
Well, it's all actually coming through a particular source, which we're using Chime.
Okay.
Target Facebook and Google sources.
Okay, using the Chime.
A good portion of our leads that we're getting from is basically probably sphere of influence, so it's referral based. So
okay,
this whole time we've been very much referral based in our productivity.
Gotcha. Katie dropped off. Her internet's probably giving her trouble. I knew this was going to happen, but it's okay. Let's keep going. So let's explore the commercials. Now, are you talking like TV commercials or radio commercials? Is that what?
Commercials. So
Streaming.
So they go to streaming devices, whether it's your TV, a phone, or tablet. And so when you're watching whatever programs you watch, we pop up those commercials you can't get rid of. You got to watch it to get to the other side of that. So we stepped into that space.
Right. And so
okay.
it's networking, network television. So it goes out to, different stations, CNN and TNT, TBS, those type of stations.
I mean, do you mind sharing with us, like, where did this come from? Like, who do you talk to get started doing something like, is there a company that like helps you get these things out there and rolled out?
Yeah, so we have someone that works for a company that does just this and had been asking me for the last, I would say, at least 5 years to do it.
Yeah.
And I had always been just saying no, no, no. And then one day I was like, you know what? Why not? And so now here we are. So we've got 2 commercials now, looking and gearing up to do a third.
So what you're saying is the relentless persistence of a salesperson trying to get you to do these things actually paid off for that particular salesperson.
Oh, he also happens to be one of my best friends. So.
Okay, so there you go. Can you share the company name, or is that something you don't feel comfortable with? Spectrum. Okay, so Spectrum. So that's really cool. All right. So, well, good. There's a lot of stuff there. And you said sphere of influence, and I think we're gonna get into that in a subsequent question here. Glad to have you back, Katie. I guess the fancy studio just wasn't working, huh?
I have no idea, but this should work. So we're not gonna move.
We are on track. We're doing
make it work.
Well, we're ready for question 2. So what's
all right?
question
I'm ready for question 2. You guys ready? Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Do you have a niche that you use in your marketing?
So what that means is, like, some people go out there and they're like the horse property person, or the country property, or the
lot lady.
Land lot. Yeah, like, do you guys do anything like that? Any niche, however you say it? Niches.
I would say for us, because we're really big on educating our clients, so a lot of them have been like maybe first-time home buyers, or maybe they've needed down payment assistance, something along those lines.
So with respect to a niche, you're in your marketing or whatever, are you saying that you specialize in these things, or is that what you mean? Is like give me an example of what your ad might say to get the attention of somebody.
So we may advertise something along the lines of basically ask us how you can purchase a house with less than $5,000 down.
Ah, okay. So I like it. So it's the...
But also doing, we've done seminars and going into different companies that allow us to go and speak to their employees. And so we'll do that. And a lot of them tend to say, hey, I've never bought a house before. And so they're unaware of the process and think that they need far more money than they actually do, and say end up using one of the down payment assistance programs that helps them get in much sooner.
This just opened up a big old can of worms for me. What do you mean you go into companies? So you've got some, and you don't have to say any names of these companies at all, but you've got some businesses that have apparently a notable amount of employees where they've allowed you to present yourselves to them.
Correct.
How do you do that?
One of the business owners that we know locally, he has a company where he has about 400 employees spread out between facilities, and he's allowed us to go and speak to these companies and employees after they have like an employee meeting, and then we're there ready to go and speak to the employees and just tell them what we do and how they can get into home ownership.
Is this a Zoom call kind of meeting, or is this your physical? Wow. So he has a big enough facility to obviously house several, if not all of his employees, and you get to get up there and start talking about what you do and how you can help them?
Yes.
Correct.
And a lot of them don't have the concept or knowledge to think that they could even purchase a home. But once we get there and kind of map it out and show them how simple it can be, then they're excited, and then they're ready to move forward.
I gotta ask, how do you land a company? I mean, how do you land a company? How do you get in with someone like that and get to the point where they say, sure, come on in, man, to my big old meeting here? I mean,
well, this particular company that we're speaking of, it just came organically. We knew the owner, and we'd known him for a couple of years actually, before he allowed us to do that. But felt comfortable enough after knowing us for a couple of years that we would, because he's all about home ownership that he preaches to his employees, and he felt comfortable enough to allow us to speak to them.
What a cool gig. What a cool thing. So that took some time of just making, really, it was a couple of years of a vetting process, sort of, kind of on his part with you guys, just making sure that, you know, these are really cool people.
I know for a fact I could not have just knocked on his door and said,
yeah,
hey, we sell real estate. Let us speak to your employees.
Yeah, we'll be there tomorrow at the meeting. Yeah.
So it kind of taps back into the whole sphere of influence, whereas, you know, we met, made the connection, kept in contact, you know, went to different events together, events that he was hosting, and then it just kind of went from there. Once he saw how we did business, looked at us from, you know, our integrity, our character, how we're conducting ourselves, and he says, hey, you know what? You're going to be the realtors for this company.
That's crazy cool. That is a good one, man. I got to get. I wish I had my sound effects on right now. Well, there's going to be a big cheering sound effect right now. In fact, I hear the big cheering sound. So yeah, that's a pretty epic move right there. I like that a lot. Are you working more than this company? Are you trying to get into a couple of other companies as well right now, or
trying to get into a couple other companies as well?
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is pretty doggone niche-y, you know, working within the
doing that, and also I have began working with a couple of organizations that help the Black and Brown community. So I work with the Oakland YRD, which is Young Realtist Division. And so what they do is they help teach entrepreneurship and also real estate to the younger community. And that you could be young at heart, you're young to the business, or young to the organization. But you know, we're going to be putting on a career day in May, and that will be for ages 14 to 24. It's going to basically explain what we do in the real estate business, whether that be I would say whether that's an architect or an appraiser or a real estate agent. There'll be vendors there, people who do the job, and they'll tell you what it is that they do, how they got into it, and possibly have mentorship for you. So that's one of the organizations that I'm a part of, and I'm the education chair with that organization. And then the Solano Realtists, which are more or less Black professionals that are within the real estate community. I'm the vice president of that organization. And so, again, all this is educational. You don't have to be necessarily Black, but we are very inclusive. Anyone is welcome to join either one of these organizations, but it's all about education and bringing synergy in real estate.
This has got to be super helpful for you guys when, I don't know, when you're meeting a seller or a buyer for the first time, that kind of a thing. And I imagine you gain a lot of knowledge in being part of these organizations. So it must be pretty neat to be able to have this, you know, this bucket of knowledge and being able to make use of it as needed when you're actually speaking to a buyer or a seller. Very, very cool stuff. That's a heck of a niche, and I like the fact that you're so involved. How many hours a month or so do you think you put into these extra activities, like with this organization that you're talking about? Like
a month?
Yeah, or a week? Or, I don't know. Like, how much time does it take? Yeah.
I would break it down to per week. It's several hours. Today specifically. Yeah. I'm going to Oakland to a training on investors for investors. That'll be at least 2-3 hours today, and then afterwards, I'm working on my committee agenda. That'll be another. The agenda is probably tonight, and that meeting is tomorrow. So I'm preparing today for tomorrow. So I would say just on a weekly, at least 10.
Really?
Hours easy.
And this all this activity benefits you. And just to be clear, how does this benefit you? Like, in what ways does this benefit you?
this allows me to be seen as an expert in my field and what I do. And if you see me that way, then you're more than likely going to want to work with me at some point.
Sure. Some trust is built up right away, right? Immediate trust. Well, awesome stuff. I don't want to take too much time. So what's the next question, Katie? What's up next?
The next question. What is your favorite marketing method or platform?
Good one. Yeah. Got a fave?
Ooh,
Method or platform? So,
Right now, I would say for us, the biggest thing is probably just the information that we're putting out through our Facebook business page and Instagram, as well as the commercials. So those are the three that we have working continually on a regular basis. And so we have a dedicated person that handles the monitoring the Facebook and the Instagram, putting the post out. So we generally like to put out at least about 4 to 5 posts a week.
Okay.
We do a monthly newsletter. So we're always putting out information for people just to kind of educate them on what's going on in the market.
Do you have to, so you've got somebody else that's producing the content and getting it out for you, or at least distributing it for you,
Yes.
publishing it for you, right?
Correct.
Excuse me. Are you guys, though, are you guys coming up with the content? Like this Facebook or Instagram image needs to talk about X, or are they doing that for you?
So we come up with some of it. Our social media person comes up with some of it herself. We approve everything. So everything before it goes out, we are always saying, yes, that's okay, change this. And so it's a partnership that we have with actually getting it out. And then some of the stuff I actually bring to her and say, hey, listen, I want you to put this out. And, whether it's from an event that I went to, the pictures that I've taken, or something of that nature. But it's always us approving every single thing that goes out. It doesn't go out too long.
Is this a virtual assistant overseas kind of thing? Oh, it is. Okay, good to know. Yeah. Do you have more than one virtual assistant by chance?
We have 2.
You have 2. Okay. All right. Not to sidetrack Katie, but I'm curious. So one of those virtual assistants is helping you with some marketing. What's the other one help you with? What do they do?
The other one is working the database. Is making the calls, screening the calls as the leads come in.
Database and
scheduling the appointments for us.
Okay. All right. Good to know. All right. Good stuff. All right. Well, that was good. What's the next question?
Okay. Can you share a specific example of a challenging transaction you navigated successfully and what you learned from that experience?
Kind of get that question? Had a deal that was like, oh my God, I can't believe this has happened.
Yeah, like roll through it.
You got through it, and what'd you learn from it? What happened? You don't have to give us names, obviously, or anything like that. But what was the scenario?
A deal where the buyers were coming from the East Coast. Everything was going just perfect up until basically it wasn't. They didn't come down to see the property, so I had to go and videotape all the properties and walk through, and then I would send it to them, and they would, tell me they would like it. So we found one that they liked, and it was occupied by the seller. Long story short, when we closed, before we closed, we had made an agreement with the seller that the seller would rent back for 3 weeks. And so we closed, and then actually the husband had come out because they had to start working early. He come out, and I got a call, and he said, after we closed, like the next day, hey, my truck's gonna be here on a Thursday. I'm like, okay, great, where's it going? He said, oh, it's going to the house. I said, it can't, because they're still there. You got 3 weeks. He said, well, yeah, we just tell them that we're going to come early. I said, no, they're prepared to use the entire 3 weeks, and you can't make them move out early. So when I say their entire house came from the East Coast with nowhere to be,
wow.
At the end of the week, everything was there, and he was pressuring me. This is the husband. Pressuring me every single day. Hey, I don't see anything moving. They're not doing anything. I have 3 weeks. And so it became a really big fiasco. He ended up calling a lawyer that told him the contract is 3 weeks. You got to wait.
Yeah.
So that did not go over very well. I mean, they were irate because they didn't get their way. And we had this conversation before. They have the entire 3 weeks. You got to let them have it. And he agreed to it. But then he changed after the deal closed and wanting to move in. That was a big deal.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Closed.
Sounds like exciting times in a real estate transaction.
It was not exciting.
So what did we learn from it? What would you say to somebody else? What's the lesson?
Well, for me, I did have conversations with him about the whole thing. We signed the contract for the 3 week extension. But I just learned that, even doing that, I need to have it even more so written out to expect expectations for during this period of when we're going to be after the close, but in that where the seller has space, explaining them what to expect. No, you cannot change the deal once we close, and if you want to move, explain it. Be more
hands-on
explanation to it, and make him sign it so he can refer back to the thing he signed.
Yeah, good one. All right, good one. Yeah. Woo, those are fun. All right, what else you got, Katie? What's next?
All right, next question. How do you stay organized and manage your time effectively?
And this is a good one for you two, because clearly y'all got a lot going on.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of balls that you're juggling in the air. So how do you keep it all in line?
Yeah.
The biggest thing is scheduling, and making sure that all appointments are put in the calendar. And so what we do is, even for my own appointments, I put those and include LeTroi so that, we share each other's calendars. So therefore, if there's a training or something comes up that we both want to be able to go to, we know what each other's schedule is before anything is planned.
What calendar do you guys use? When you say you share a calendar, is it Google Calendar, or what do you use?
Google Calendars. So I just make sure that I include him so it's included and it's put on his calendar, and vice versa. We do, we make sure that
I'm getting better at that. I'm
It's
terrible.
not always,
At
so I
planning.
always have to double check and ask, hey, do you have anything on Thursday at this time?
Well, that's one of the nice things about Google Calendars. You can share each other's calendars. You can see what's going on with everybody. It's really nice. Do you guys?
The issue is when you have 17 different email addresses and you don't know which calendar you're putting stuff.
That
on.
part, right?
Right. So do you guys have in helping keep things organized and things on track? Do you have assistants? Do you have besides the virtual assistants you just told us about? Do you have any other assistants that help in this?
Not currently.
No, so you're able to swing it. You're able, as busy as you guys are, you're able to just making it. So you guys are pretty much, very much glued to the calendar at that point, then.
Basically.
Yes, but we are planning to grow, and once we start growing and bringing in more, agents and staff, then we'll probably look at maybe having like an office manager that can manage the extra stuff.
Okay. All right. I think we're going to get to this question at the end. In fact, I know I will, but just obviously you just said, so you guys are looking to grow. You guys are looking for some agents.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We'll make that really clear at the end of the podcast here too, for everybody, how they can reach you, how they can reach out to you. What's the next one, Katie?
All right. How do you approach client communication and manage expectations throughout the buying and selling process?
Yeah, you guys got a system or checklists or anything like that? How do you manage expectations?
So we do have a checklist, but I think mainly about managing expectations is to be abundantly clear on what to expect. Right? Tell them before things happen what's getting ready to come up, and then being clear. And then managing every step of the way. You don't just tell them up front, and then when you get to the part, they've forgotten it. It's every step of the way. This is this step we talked about. This is that step, right? And so when you're clear and you tell them what to expect, and then that thing happens, they're fully prepared for it.
And then we also do have information that we send out. So it's kind of like what to expect when buying, what to expect when selling. And it kind of goes through a list of, expectations of what's going to happen when. And so we make sure that we're communicating with them like I said, the biggest thing is at being upfront and educating them, especially with buyers. You know, it's a scary process for a buyer, especially if it's their first time buying. You know, high stress level. And so we want to make sure that we're communicating with them to ease their stress level and then kind of walk through them step by step. So we we do a lot of hand holding with the clients, because we don't want them to feel like they're just out there on their own trying to figure it out.
How do you, when you have a first timer, right? Because obviously you're right. The first timers are the ones that really we better pay some special attention to, just because they don't know what's going on, right? And we want them to feel very, very comfortable. And not just first timers, but they stick out to me. But when you're setting these expectations and reminding them of these things, are you guys really phone call oriented with your customers, face-to-face phone call?
Yeah, I prefer that.
It's not a text kind of a thing, or shooting you an email, or
I prefer to speak with you. I think a lot gets lost in translation when you're texting or emailing.
Yeah.
A lot gets missed. So we're very hands-on and very verbal. So, the texting and email only comes in if they're not available. Maybe if they're at work and I need to say, hey, just sent you this form, need you to sign it. But other than that, it's verbal communication.
When you guys get someone who needs some hand-holding, i.e. a first-time home buyer, do you guys have like a little first-time homebuyer presentation you give to first-time homebuyers to kind of like, hey, let's get together and let's understand kind of the process before we even go out looking? Or is it on the fly as you're starting to work with them? How do you do that? Or do you?
For me, there's information I send out immediately, like, what to expect when purchasing, what is escrow, because these are questions they need to know, like, what is the escrow company? How do they
Yeah.
And so we'll usually have an in-depth conversation about that prior to us going out. Sometimes we will sit down and meet with them face to face. If not, then the first time we meet sometimes is when we're out looking at properties. And so usually in the beginning, take the time to sit there and talk to them and kind of go over the process, ask them, do they have questions? Because they're always going to have questions, and make sure that we're readily available. I tell them, there's no question that's not a good question. Just call and ask the question.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's what we do. We offer first-time home buyer Zoom calls basically with me, where I'll walk them through. It's really amazing to do that with first-time home buyers, because they're just like, oh, they really don't know anything. Just like you said, even escrow. What is that? Kind of a big piece of the puzzle, really. So that's great that you do that kind of stuff. This is good stuff. What's the next question, Katie?
Next question. Do you guys get repeat business and or referrals from past clients? And if so, how do you stay top of mind with your database?
Good one.
So
how much repeat business you get? You get a lot?
A lot of repeat business. Some of our best customers are, they bought, 4 or 5 or more properties with us over the years, 10, 15 years, they've been our clients. And so obviously we love that they come back, but a part of that speaks to who we are and how we've treated our customers in the past, or clients, that they're willing to and want to come back and utilize us whenever there's something that, whether they want to purchase for investment or for personal use. But how we stay top of mind is they tend to become a lot of our clients' friends. And we'll just check in on you and say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? If you got something big, we may even come to that and participate. If your kid, got something big going on, we will participate because it becomes a friendship.
How often? I got a question.
Oh, sorry.
How often do you guys reach out to your past clients?
Some pretty regularly, because what I was going to say is, it becomes more than just a friendship. They become extended family. We become this really big blended family to where they may have a birthday party for their kids, or an anniversary, or something is going on, or for Christmas. And so we have a tendency to get together. So we regularly check in with them on a regular basis. Sometimes it's a call if they're busy, or it could be a text, like, hey, just checking in, how's everything going, how's the family, and so that's just how we stay top of mind.
And to that, so might call and talk with them and say, hey, I'm not feeling so well, I got a cold, or something's going on, or I got COVID, And so we've been known to send letters out to say, hey, you know, we know you, and it's handwritten. So we're not just don't go by a card and just, but it's handwritten, you know, get well. And so I know that those things really reach home that we care, because we do. Because if we didn't, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's good. That shows a lot. That's good. What else, Katie? What else on there?
Okay, let's see. What advice would you give to new or average producing agents looking to increase their success in the industry?
Yeah. What's the advice for the new kids, guys?
Newbies. What were you
I'm a new kid. I'm trying to make it, man. I'm freaking out. Everybody's telling me I can't do it in this market. What do I do?
So first and foremost, I would say if you're new and not necessarily producing a lot, funds are probably going to be less than what you want. And I would say utilize what you have at your disposal, which is social media. You know, start using social media, start putting out posts, start doing reels, putting yourself out there, market yourself to, you know, starting with definitely your sphere of influence. But if you're on social media, that's going to be your immediate sphere of influence. Let people know, hey, I'm out here, I'm doing real estate. And then if you can, maybe if you can't afford to just outright purchase leads, I would partner up with lead generating companies that don't require you to pay up front, but maybe you pay a referral fee. You have some that are out there where you can partner with them and they'll send you referrals. If you get in the contract, then that's when you pay them. You know, you may have to pay them 30%, but I would say 70% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
Yeah, that darn math. It always works, you know. Darn math. Yeah, no, that's a good idea, man. That's good stuff, man. You're right. If you're brand new, I mean, social's definitely a great avenue to get started on, for sure, man.
Also, you know, weigh heavily on or look into your social media. I mean, not your social media, your sphere of influence. Someone you know is wanting to buy a house.
Yeah.
Someone you know is wanting to sell a house. It might not be today. It might be tomorrow, next month, year. But that year is going to come around quick. That month's going to come around quick. But if you're getting top of mind by just social media or just calling people, calling them direct, seeing how they're doing, letting them know you're in the business. Because if you're new, they might not know you're in the business. Right?
What's that phrase? Don't be a secret agent.
Right.
I love it. What's the next question, Katie?
What areas do you serve?
Yeah, this is where we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Somebody's watching this right now. A consumer's watching this. Obviously, a lot of real estate people will watch it, but there's going to be people who looking to buy and sell homes going to be watching this too. What areas do you guys serve? If somebody was interested in working with you,
the greater Bay Area, as well as the Sacramento area, Stockton area. You know, we've owned the company since 2004, but you know, I've been in the business personally. Next month will be 25 years. So I've learned over time all these different areas that I can service, and I love to service you know, far out places. You know, from at least from where I am in Fairfield. You know, I'll go to Modesto, or we went down to LA a couple times last year to sell some property. So you know, we'll go.
Man. Awesome. Right. Good stuff. What's next, Katie?
Blanketing over the U.S.
That's right, baby.
All right. What's the best way for someone considering buying or selling a home in the areas you serve to reach you?
Yeah. What's the best way?
By calling us directly.
Okay. What's the number?
So for me, my phone number is 510-712-3924.
And I am 707-580-1257. You can also reach us on Instagram. We're both on there, have our own pages.
We also do have a business Facebook page as well.
How about agents that want to maybe talk to you guys about coming to work for you? Do you guys have a good training program for these peeps or anything like that? You said you might be looking for some people. Are you looking for some peeps?
Yes, we are looking to take on agents. At this time, we're looking at new, but also seasoned agents as well.
Cool. So looking for people, you got some resources. What's the office line for them to reach out to you?
Office number is 800-532-0021. Yes.
All right, good stuff. Well, guys, hey, big round of applause for you guys for being here and showing up. Super appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to us to have you here. I think you gave a lot of really good information for a lot of people in real estate who are not doing, upwards of 30 deals in the past 12 months. So pretty neat stuff. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
All right. For the rest of you watching the Weird Loan Girl podcast, don't forget we are here for the loans. We do loans over here. That's what we do. If you need somebody pre-approved, just reach out to us at 707-220-1444. We lend in all 50 states. We have on-time closing, superior communication, and unprecedented follow-up. That's who we are and what we do. We would love to hear from you. So we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. You guys have a fabulous day, and we'll see y'all later. Adios.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, before we go, Katie, give them the joke.
How do you make an egg roll?
I have no idea.
You push it.
Okay.
What do you think? Scale of 1 to 10, the impact of that joke.
It's a pretty good dad
I
joke.
was thinking that, but I was like, nah, that's too easy.
Pretty good.
That's why we like it, because it's easy, simple, and sweet. Love it.
All right, you guys, have a great one. Thanks for being
Okay,
here.
all right,
Super
thanks.
appreciate it.